What's going on, everybody out there? Is Ron Brown, LMT, the People's Fitness Professional, aka Soul Brother number one, reporting for duty. I have to salute every time I say that. Peace to Mikey Fever in the building, Israel in the building,
Yep.
Abdullah Bay in the building. Thank y'all for joining the NYP family. You've been with us for a while now. I really appreciate you. Kenneth L. Bay, I know you only come on this show or watch this show when those brothers are on. However, there are
Yes.
other shows that are popping, though. There are other shows that you're missing out on that are popping. This show is popping. Every other show is popping. Y'all got to tune in. Let's go straight into it. Addressing the misconceptions at large within the Moorish movement. Okay, let's
Yeah.
get it.
Before Israel gets started, I want to give a shout out and wonderful love and appreciation to all conscious Moors who, and I'm saying that because they put out the effort. However, the effort is what's appreciated, of teaching our people that we're Moors and not Negro colored black. I want to give the shout out. I greatly appreciate all of you for extending the love that you have for our people and in addressing the centuries of our Moorish cultural, racial, and the Moorish cultural, racial, and Moorish identity theft, hijacked it by European Shriners and European mystics who claim our Moorish fairs, our Moorish names, our Moorish turbans, our Moorish architecture, our Moorish scimitar, the compass and the square, the five-pointed star, the crescent moon. I want to thank all of you for reaching out to unconscious Moors the best way you know how. The best way you know how. I salute you. I unwrap my turban and tip my fez to all conscious Moors out there. I appreciate you. I salute you.
Salute.
Indeed. All right. So let's get into it. So addressing the misconceptions at large within the Moorish movement using evidentiary standards. Misconceptions equal lack of knowledge. Misconception. The word misconception is a noun, a false opinion. Prefix mis dash, meaning bad, wrong, plus prefix con, together with, plus root kapir, to take, from pi root cap dash, to grasp. False opinion. False. The word false is an adjective, meaning deceptive, deceitful, pretend, mistaken. See the word fail. The word fail is a verb, meaning be unsuccessful in accomplishing a purpose. From Latin, fallere, to trip, cause to fall. Devan traces it to pi root, meaning to stumble. From Sanskrit, scalate, to stumble. The word opinion is a noun. From Latin, opinium, opinionem, meaning opinion, conjecture, fancy, judge, suppose, opine. From pi op dash, to choose. See the word option. So we're dealing with misconceptions and falsely choosing, or choosing to stumble. Misconceptions is when one chooses to stumble. What is evidence and what are evidentiary standards? Evidence. Evidence is explicit information shared by the communicator that is used to back up or to justify the dependability of a factual claim. In prescriptive arguments, evidence will be needed to support reasons that are factual claims. In descriptive arguments, evidence will be needed to directly support a descriptive conclusion. Legal application of evidentiary standards. Evidentiary standards are the legal principle that determine how much convincing evidence is required to prove a fact or a claim in court. Professional debate application of evidentiary standards. Evidentiary standards is the principle and criteria for evaluating the quality relevance, and credibility of evidence presented to support a claim in an argument. So this is the 11th edition, Asking the Right Questions, a guide to critical thinking by M. Neil Brown and Stuart M. Keeley.
Those are Europeans?
I'm not sure, brother.
Yes.
Okay. So this is chapter 8, How Good is the Evidence? So chapter 8 in this book, How Good is the Evidence? Intuition, personal experience, case examples, testimonials, and appeals to authority. The need for evidence. So these are the page numbers as well. So this is just from the table of contents. So you, everyone can check this out and look into it. The need for evidence. Locating factual claims. Sources of evidence. Intuition as evidence. Personal experience as evidence. Case examples as evidence. Testimonials as evidence. Appeals to authority as evidence. Using this critical question. Your academic writing and evidence. Practice exercises and sample responses. In chapter 9, How Good is the Evidence? Personal observation, research studies, and analogies. Personal observation as evidence. Research studies as evidence. General problems with research findings. Generalizing from the research measures. Bias surveys and questionnaires. Analogies as evidence. Identifying and comprehending analogies. Evaluating analogies. When you can most trust expert opinion. Research the internet. Practice exercises. Sample responses. And this is from chapter 8 of what we just read. Sources of evidence. When should we accept a factual claim as dependable? There are 3 instances in which we will be most inclined to agree with the factual claim. Number 1, when the claim appears to be undisputed common knowledge, such as the claim weight lifting increases muscular body mass. Number 2,
I want to interject.
Yeah,
so right now you're setting the stage to address. Okay.
Indeed.
I just want to let the audience know what's going on.
Got you. Yep, perfect. Yep. Number 2, when the claim is the conclusion from a well-reasoned argument. And number 3, when the claim is adequately supported by solid evidence. Our connection in this chapter is the 3rd instance. Determining the adequacy of evidence requires us to ask, how good is the evidence? To answer this question, we must first ask, what do we mean by evidence? So again, attention. Evidence is explicit information shared by the communicator that is used to back up or to justify the dependability of a factual claim. See chapter 3. In prospective arguments, evidence will be needed to support reasons that are factual claims. In descriptive arguments, evidence will be needed to directly support a descriptive conclusion. So the quality of evidence depends on what kind of evidence it is, on the kind of evidence it is. Thus, to evaluate evidence, we first need to ask, what kind of evidence is it? Knowing the kind of evidence tells us what questions we should ask. When used appropriately, each kind of evidence can be good evidence. It can help support an author's claim, like a gold prospector closely examining the gravel in her pan for potentially high quality ore. We must closely examine the evidence to determine its quality. We want to know major kinds of evidence. These are the major kinds of evidence: intuition, personal experiences, case examples, testimonials, appeals to authorities or experts, personal observations, research studies, and analogies. So does an author's evidence provide dependable support for her claim? Thus, we begin to evaluate evidence by asking, how good is the evidence? Always keep in the back of your mind that no evidence will be a slam dunk that gets the job done conclusively.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to address these misconceptions at large within the Moorish movement. Misconception at large. The Moors established the United States federal government for themselves and the state governments for the Europeans. Brother Abdullah, you want me to read through them all and then?
No, we do this one. I thought you had a slide after that. All right, so I got you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the Moors established the United States. So the evidence. So let's examining the evidence. What evidence will support this claim that the Moors established the United States government? What evidence one would examine? We have the minutes, the United States, the constitutional minutes. All right. So from March 1787 to September 1787, they convened in Philadelphia. So we have the minutes, we have the what they call the Federalist Papers. The Federalist Papers written by John Jay, Thomas Jefferson, and Alexander Hamilton, a collection of 88 articles that pushed for the ratification of the Constitution. Then we have the constitutional debates. So the Constitution was signed by the delegates. So they had the signature section at the bottom, at the end of the Constitution, the signatures of the delegates of the 13 states that signed the Constitution. The signing of it did not put into force. There were debates, and then you had the 88 articles known as the Federalist Papers. Then you had 12 of the 13 states wrote out and ratified it in 1991. 12 of the 13 states had ratification conventions. So you have minutes of the ratification conventions. So so you examine the evidence.
That's evidence, right? I have a question, right?
Uh-huh.
A statement. They say they show evidence, being that Moorish is based on Islam, right? They say some of the laws were built on Mohammedan law, Islamic laws in America. Is that considered evidence? Will that be taken?
No, that's a statement, though. That's not what you're. No, what I'm saying is that's what you just said is a statement. It's not evidence.
All right, got you.
Remember you said you have a statement, and you say they say that some of the laws were built on Islamic laws. That statement does not constitute evidence.
Right.
Statement is a claim.
But are there any evidence of that taking place?
I haven't seen any evidence of that.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So the evidence of who established the United States federal government, whatnot, you can find those within the constitutional minutes of 1787, and the Federalist Papers, and the constitutional debates. And the signatory page on the Constitution. In the Constitution. All right. Next misconception at large: United States and the Moroccan Empire merged as one nation, and the evidence is the dual seal on the reverse side of the Federal Reserve note, aka the $1 bill.
All right. What the evidence that would be needed to support this claim was called Declaration of Merger or Unification Treaty. You have the West Germany and East Germany. They reunited, under a reunification treaty. So where is the unification treaty?
Before we go into that, hold that thought. I just have to make an acknowledgement.
All right.
Kat Kaba S. Unk, thank you for the $20. I really appreciate that super chat. We appreciate the super chats.
Definitely.
Trust me, we do. Thank you. All right. Pardon me.
Right. So the evidence, for this claim, to support this claim that the Moroccan Empire and the United States merge as one, there would be a unification treaty or declaration of merger.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
Gotcha.
Where are the hard evidence? The back of the one note is not evidence. That's not evidence. You pull out the one note all you want. You can pull out 1,000,000 times. Keep in mind, let's examine this. You can pull it out 1,000,000 times. How good is that? Is that evidence? Is the Federal Reserve note, what they call the $1 bill, the back, the image, is that evidence though? Because where's the evidence to support that? Where's the evidence to support the claims that, you know, the one, and then you have the Great Seal of the United States? Where is the hard documentary primary source unification treaty declaration of merger evidence?
Nice. I like that. I like that.
I'm glad he's clearing that. He's clearing that up. Right. That's why I say they said. I'm happy he said that was a claim, because a lot of misconceptions were put out throughout the years for those who were doing the studying. We got to be honest.
I was one of them. 25, 26 years. I was one of them. So
yeah, I got caught up people. That. You remember those days, Ron? The YouTube back then. Yeah. People telling you to do this and do that, and you believe in it.
Wait, hold on, brother. Abdullah, didn't you make a book saying something like that in there?
Moorish and Macy Part 1 has it. Has some of the misconceptions in there.
Yeah.
I have to revise it.
Gotcha.
Now everything's not in there. Everything in there is not misconception, because I have documentary evidence of other supporting points. But I do have those points about the misconceptions, you know, that, you know, we are the founders and all that. That's in Moorish and Macy Part 1. I have to revise that.
Okay, because I knew I read that in your books.
Yeah. And Part 1, just Moorish and Macy Part 1 now.
Okay.
Moorish and Macy Part 1, not Part 2. Because I was already cleared up by the time I finished Part 2.
Got it.
Right. Next misconception at large: individual Moors can invoke the 1836 Peace and Friendship Treaty between the United States and the Moroccan Empire.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So you have, there are principles of treaties. You have what's known as private rights of action. Let's hear this out. So does the 1836 Peace and Friendship Treaty and the 1787 Peace and Friendship Treaty have a private rights of action? The answer is no. Why you say no, Abdullah? Because Articles 20 to 25 of the 1787 Treaty of Peace and Friendship, it says a consul, a Moorish consul, if there is a dispute between a United States citizen and a Moor, a Moorish consul, if a Moor is a defendant, a Moorish consul would have jurisdiction. So that based on the language, based on the substantive language, that doesn't give a private right to action. The Moorish consul has the right, has the power to bring the case. So no. So they don't understand what's private rights of action and what's type of language.
Uh-oh.
So if it doesn't say Moorish consul or consul, then the Moor would have a private right to answer. The United States citizen doesn't have a private right to action.
Now can you just claim to be the Moorish consul?
No. I once again, so no. Right. There's no claim. That's not. Good question. Don't at me. Don't at me. There's no such thing as one claiming to be a Moorish consul, because I have to have a head of state, a Moorish consul in government structure worldwide. Well, just worldwide. I'm talking about this is a universal principle. Mm-hmm. No one claims to be a consul in the United States or French consul. That is the French consul, whatever, they're appointed by a head of state, or if the head of state would be president, all right, would delegate that authority to the Secretary of State or Minister of Foreign Affairs, where they appoint ambassadors, you know. So no. We're talking about government structure. We're talking about government structure. So we gotta show the world that we know government. We got to show the world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What I said to Israel. Yeah. We got to prepare the people to be able to dance with ambassadors. consul, consul generals, international jurists. We got to get them to that level.
Yes,
See, what it is, Ron and Mike, is that conscious Moors speak to other conscious Moors and conscious Moors who don't know. So they sound intelligent. They sound right. But when you get among those who know, Israel is going to sound, Israel can speak to international jurists. Israel can speak to consuls, ambassadors, consul generals, and he will sound intelligent to them.
Now,
King and I are making sure of that.
all right, now
We're making sure of that.
I got to go to a question because is there any truth to the 102s? Of course, I know about the 101s. I've never heard of the 10. I think someone mentioned 102s a long time ago on this podcast, but I only heard of the 101.
I don't know. I haven't heard of 102, so I can't speak to that. But I know 101. Any truth that is too broad because then you have to look at each one. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have time though. You know what I'm saying? I can't say. You have to examine each question. And that's not. I just want to be, logical. So we can.
I don't think there's a 102.
There's no one. I haven't seen a 102. I'm just say that. I'm not going to say. I'm just going to say I haven't seen it. I'm just keep it at that.
Yeah. All right.
So the next misconception at large: the United States became a corporation in 1871 via Act of Congress.
Yeah, I heard that.
All right. So Congress is a creature. Congress is a creature of the Constitution. So you have you have United States in the preamble. We the people of the United States. All right. So that United States and the preamble to the United States Constitution, we the people of the United States. You have United States Article 1, Section 1 of the United States Constitution. United States, the executive power, United States executive power shall be, legislative power shall be vested in one Congress, holding a Senate and House Representative. You have Article 2, Section 1. The executive power of the United States shall be vested in the President of the United States of America. You have Article 3, Section 1. The judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court. So you have those that. So is that a corporation? So we say in 1871, an act of Congress. So an act of Congress is a creature of the Constitution. How can Congress create an entity that's greater than that which created it? So Congress is.
I think Brother Sharif Bey addressed this. I forgot which episode was that.
Last year.
That was last year. He built on that. Yeah. Go ahead. But
I don't know how he addressed it though, so I can't. I'm talking about.
He didn't have he didn't break it down like this, but he broke it down. I'm listening though. Yep. Yeah,
I don't know what broke down though, because this is how you break it down. Because you have to go. You have to go to the Constitution.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you say break it down. If you're not going to go to the Constitution, I'm going to the Constitution. I'm pointing out United States. I'm pointing out the term United States in the Constitution. I mean, I just say break it down. All right, anyone in the world, I'm talking about anyone in the world. If they don't break it down this way, how are they breaking it down then? If the Constitution is the creature of Congress, the Constitution is the creature of the presidency. If you don't if that is not your foundation for breaking it down, are you breaking it down?
It's the creator. Yeah.
So he's going to the nucleus of it, the mechanics of it. So all right.
The nucleus.
Yeah. Got you. So let's go.
So that United States of 1787 is not greater than the United States that's in the Constitution. Right. So this whole thing that United States is a corporation, no, it's not. You know, the United States in the Constitution, United States, and me out, my brothers and sisters, United States mentioned in that preamble to United States Constitution, United States mentioned in Article, drafted in Article 1, Section 1, United States Constitution, Article 2, Section 1, Article 3, Section 1. That United States is not a corporation.
Got you.
And that's the only United States that matters. Hear me out. That is the only United States that has constitutional authority. Why would you concern yourself? Why would you, anyone in the world, anyone, anybody, anyone in the world concern themselves with a United States that does not have constitutional authority? What the intelligence is focused on the United States that has constitutional authority.
Yeah, not congressional authority.
Right, constitutional authority. Congress is the creature of the Constitution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we're putting so much energy, so much time. I mean, into a United States doesn't have constitutional authority.
Oh man, as you said earlier, that's what happened when misinformed Moors and misinform other Moors. It's like junk piling upon junk misinformation, and it goes back to when people were saying,
that's what I'm talking about.
that's when they said, "Oh, the U.S. is a corporation. It has an LLC." You heard that before, right? Right, Ron? There's an LLC for the U.S. And
yep.
Trust me, you got. These are things that we were picking up along the years. So we used to be like, "Wow."
Yeah, but those United States don't have constitutional authority, though. That right. That in fact, those you don't. That fact. France did not deal in 1803. France dealt with the United States. That's drafted in the United States Constitution.
Yeah.
Great Britain dealt with the United States in 1783. The 1783 definitive peace treaty between Great Britain and the United States. Article 1 of that treaty, that is that United States. 1778. The alliance treaty between France and United States dealt with the United States. All right. So you had the Treaty of Peace and Friendship between His Imperial Majesty and the United States. Dealt with the United States. That was drafted in the Articles of Confederation.
Yeah. United States.
I'm just saying, though, we spinning wheels, so we got to go to the foundation.
Yep.
All right, we can go to the next one.
Misconception at large. Moors are U.S. non-citizen nationals.
All right. So the source of law. All right. So let's look at this. In 1898, that's called the Spanish American War, known in the textbooks. Spain lost the war. Spain ceded her possessions through a treaty. Puerto Rico, Cuba, Philippines, Guam, Virgin Island, Samoa. Those were Spanish possessions. They were ceded to the United States through the 1898 treaty. In the treaty, Spain ceded Spanish territoriality. That is a primary principle in international law. Territoriality. Spain ceded Spanish territoriality to the United States through that treaty. In the treaty, it states that United States can determine the status of those inhabiting in Portugal and Philippines and Virgin Islands and Cuba and Puerto Rico and Samoa. So United States Congress did do that. United States Congress legislated a new status known as this United States non-citizen nationals. Only for those, because those are territories. They were not incorporated. They have not since been incorporated into the United States Constitution, meaning that Article 4, Section Section 4, that's the mission of new states. That's the mission of new states, Article 4, Section 4. So you had so if those states was not given, became, they would not, those territories did not become states. So they're called unincorporated territories. They're unincorporated territories. They were not incorporated through Article 4, Section 4, the mission of new states.
Wow.
That's Article
So
4,
that's an aspect. That's an aspect of territoriality that now the United States having acquired territoriality through treaty, they can now they can determine the status. I mean, if the status is not determined in the treaty about the inhabitants, and clearly state that the United States can determine, right? And the Congress did do that. So no. But I want to give you the reasonings, the principles.
Yeah, and to clear it up, it was Article 4, Section 3. Yeah.
Oh, it's Article 4, Section 3, the mission clause.
Yeah.
Thank you, Israel. Article 4, Section 3, the mission clause. It's there. There's several clauses, but Article 4, Section 3 is and then the Article 3 is and that's the mission clause is Article 4, Section 3. Yes, thank you.
Indeed.
Man, this is beautiful. I appreciate this. A lot of misconceptions are being cleaned up because you get people out here jammed up, man, trying to play with paperwork and doing all this filing to be non-U.S. citizen, to be national. Man, thank you for this.
Indeed. So then we have misconception at large. We the people of the United States, in the preamble of the United States Constitution, consists of the Moors and means the people of the land.
All right. You look at other constitutions. It clearly defines the national identity of the people in the Constitution. We, the people of Senegal, the people of Spain, the People's Republic of China, the people of Nigeria, that the people is a political phrase. You have all the preposition of the phrase and then identifies what? The national identity. The national identity, the state's identity.
Real quick, we gotta address this brother right here. Can we get Brother Abdullah and Israel on here for 2 hours? We need to do that, man.
Yes,
yeah,
it's important.
You've been saying that for 5-6 months.
Yo, man, listen, this thing is moving fast for me. You know what I mean? This whole thing.
That's what we saying to you, Elon.
Got you. You know what? Let's do that next time then. 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Because we can have more time to explain. Because I gotta shorten it. You know what I mean? I gotta give a short version because of the time.
Right.
You know what, Ron? We should have done a Jay-Z Rockefeller play. Hold up, no commercial breaks. We going straight through 2 hours. No more guests. We on live forever. Definitely. This is dope, man.
All right. So all right. So we the people of the United States. It doesn't read we the people of Morocco. I'm just look at the findings with the evidence. Because if other than that, you're conjecturing, though. Keep in mind, understand that that it's just a conjecture. It's not facts. Because they're pushing it as facts. Oh yeah, we the people, and I did too. We the people of the United States. That's the Moors. That's not a fact. Where's the support? It doesn't read Moors. Doesn't read Morocco. Nowhere in that Constitution, nor does it read in the preamble. That's pure conjecturing. We cannot push conjectures to our children. We cannot hand down conjectures, suppositions to our children. You're not going to move the hundreds of millions of our people with conjectures and suppositions. It's not going to happen.
That's deep.
We got to move away from that.
Hard evidence.
Hard, thank you. Hard evidence.
Show and prove, as the gods say. Show and prove. Yep.
And this Abdullah said, it's not based on what Abdullah said. It's not based on what Abdullah said. It's not based on what Israel says.
Yeah.
So no, don't have to say Abdullah said anything.
Mm-hmm.
Israel say anything. Because we giving you the sources as we speaking.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or we're giving you also the analytical tools to examine.
Wow.
You need analytical tools. That's why Israel set the stage.
Definitely.
Presentations are important, man. It's laid out very detailed. So a lot of misconceptions are out there, man. I'm glad you're clearing it up.
The brother says the Moorish treaty says.
All right. So what does the Moorish treaty for what? The Moorish treaties read what? It reads what?
I don't know. I don't know where he was going with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Continue. Let's build.
Yeah. It's built. Yeah.
All right. So the next misconception at large is the Moorish Americans are nationals of the United States federal government and not state citizens of the several states.
All right. Once again, Israel set the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the evidence? Moorish Americans are nationals of the United States federal government. We, the people of the United States. Doesn't read the people of Morocco.
Right.
Where is the evidence that Moors are nationals of the United States? So, all right. What would be the evidence? Naturalization? You have you nationals of United. If someone is a Russian who becomes a naturalized citizen of the United States, they would be what? A national of the United States if they were in the Olympics. But how did Moors be? How did the Moors? How were the Moors brought into the United States jurisdiction? By force. We were brought by force into the United States.
Uh-oh.
So is it prisoner of war?
You know what some are gonna say behind that, right? Not all of us were brought here by force.
No. Even those who I'm saying into the United States jurisdiction. Those are people. Those who claim to not been brought, they're being subject into the United States. That's by force, though. By force. United States forced us into their legal system. How did our people become part of the legal system of the United States? Through subjugation. That's all our people. We're not talking about Nigerians, Senegalese over here. All right, we're not talking about them. We don't, so we're talking about those who've been classified as black, nigger, colored. All of them by force. We were forced into the United States legal system. That's a fact.
Yeah.
What's the evidence that? Because United States, through legislation, through the 14th Amendment legislation, that is known in international law as the acquisition of nationality through subjugation. United States subjugated us and forced us into their legal system. United States continue to maintain the erasure of our cultural identity. They were caught up maintaining the collapse and dismantling of our Moorish empire or Moorish government. And even those who making the claim that they were bought over here, forcibly bought, they're still by force. You know, the claim, the force can't be challenged because they would be supporting me. They still would be supporting me because how did you become part of the United States legal system? You still would be supporting me. The claim is by force.
This brother says, Brother Abdullah, are you saying the entire civics lesson book number?
No, part one, not Moorish Mason, but no, because not the entire book, not the entire Moorish Mason part one, absolutely not, because I have references of treaties, I have the treaties, excerpts of various treaties, I have listing of treaties, I have listing of letters, I have references of books, of several books, so no, absolutely not.
That's why we set the stage so people would know how to look at evidence, so they can know how to check the sources themselves.
Got you. Wow.
Another misconception at large: citizens means corporation, and national means flesh and blood being of the land.
Yeah, I like that one.
All right. Yes. Well, citizen is used domestically. So we're looking at worldwide. Citizen is used domestically. National is used. National has a broader meaning. Meaning that, for example, a French living in Germany, they would be considered a French national in Germany. They wouldn't be called a French citizen, and if they're in France, they're a French citizen. If they're a French in France, would be called a French citizen. Yeah. But a French who is a citizen of France but living in Germany will be called a French national. Right. So French national and international, as an international meaning, has a much broader meaning. So we're speaking because this is used worldwide. Citizen and national is used worldwide. Yeah. So we want the audience to understand the distinction of citizen and national. At the Olympics, they'll say they'll use nationals. French nationals, United States nationals, German nationals, Chinese nationals, Russian nationals. Yes. So it has a broader meaning, and that's the way it's used in the international arena. Citizen wouldn't be used. They wouldn't say French citizens, at the Olympics, French citizens, Chinese citizens, Russian citizens. They would use nationals. And people, they hear that. People hear that, but they're not, because they're stuck in the misconception. So they can't get beyond that.
So hopefully this will make it stand out to them next time they watch the Olympics. They can hear
absolutely
it.
Yes, because it's coming.
Yeah.
Definitely hear it.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Okay. All right.
We want, like I said, we want y'all to be able to speak to jurists and ambassadors and consuls and consul generals. We want to, but y'all, with the misconceptions, they're going to just laugh at y'all. They're going to just laugh at y'all, or they're not even going. They won't laugh in your face, but they won't even address you. They probably won't even. They would ignore you. They would ignore you.
You can't stand on misconceptions. Like I said, you choose to stumble. It's a choice to stumble.
Yeah, they're gonna ignore you. Yeah.
So another misconception at large: 35 Moors, along with 20 European sons, established the United States Constitution as a beacon light to stop the 100 years of wars between Moors and European colonists.
Give the evidence that what we needed to support this. What evidence would they have to look to support this, Israel?
They would need the constitutional minutes for the United States Constitution. Basically the same as this number one, really. The Federalist Papers.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ratification minutes of the 12 states that held ratification conventions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to play devil's advocate, right? I mean, devil's advocate. They will say, how can you trust the recorded information, the Constitution? You know, the European wrote that to write us out, to do paper genocide, and you gonna believe what they saying?
All right, so remember they're making a claim though, Mike. All right, remember this is the claim.
Yeah.
So all right, so no problem. Good. Throw it at me. Throw it at us.
Yeah.
So they're making a claim. So no. That's good. They can say anything. They can say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So what would they use to support the claim?
Right.
That's where you back them in the corner.
Because you're saying right Constitution. Hold on, you said establish the United States Constitution. Remember this the claim. So what? So it's establish the United States Constitution. So I would have to support the claim. I would have to go to the United States Constitutional minutes. Right. The ratification conventions minutes. Right. Look at the claim. Like so, you have to look at the claim first, and then look what evidence will be needed to substantiate the claim. Of who wrote it, and then then you're looking at examining how good is evidence. In this case, the only evidence that you would have to go to would be the United States Constitutional minutes. It would be the Federalist Papers, the ratification conventions of the 12 states, because 12 of the 13 held ratification convention. Let's say Rhode Island ratified it in 1991. You have to examine the claim. Yep. I mean, to dismiss without examination, to throw off without examination, to say something's not good without examination. It's not based in that's not evidentiary standards.
Right.
You haven't examined the evidence. How good is it? How bad? Whatever. You haven't examined it though. You just you're throwing it off without examining it. You're dismissing without examining. So, but then they make a bunch of claims, unwarranted claims, the unfounded claims. We want the audience to grow. The audience will never grow when people just make unfounded claims upon unfounded claims upon unfounded claims upon unfounded claims. They're not going to grow. It could be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50, doesn't matter. Because if you're not using the principles, they're never going to grow. I've seen it. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've been 33 years in now. This is my 33rd year anniversary of meeting Taj. October 1993.
Yeah.
Got you.
All right. Next misconception at large. Individual Moors can correct their own status as well as the status of others individually.
All right. Once again, nationality is a legal framework, legal and political framework. And the legal political framework of nationality that doesn't hold true. Because it's done in government structure. So this shows that they don't understand national. Now, we are Moors, but you're talking about a correction or bringing them back into government structure because they are understanding nationality as a legal and political framework. That's not true at all. I mean, I'm saying that understanding what nationality is in the legal framework. We have nationality in the social cultural aspect because we are Moors. There's no process that makes us more. But when you're talking about protection and recognition and legal bond to a state. You're talking about legal bond, rights and duties, diplomatic protection, state's jurisdiction, whereby the state exercises jurisdiction over its nationals for protection. So that's nationality in a legal and political framework. If you're talking about the People's Synagogue, the political phrase, the people of synagogue. Now that's nationality in a political framework. Sovereignty is the political and legal framework that recognizes, institutionalizes, and formalizes the nationality of the people and the national name of the nation state in the creation of states. So nationality and sovereignty are deeply interwoven. We're talking about the political and legal framework of nationality. And then in the social political aspect, the legal and political framework of nationality protects, and the sovereignty protects the social cultural aspect of nationality: festivals, customs, cultural, language, ceremonies, holidays, dress. That is the social cultural aspect of nationality. But we're talking about it's protected and embodied into the legal and political framework of nationality, as nationality and sovereignty are deeply interwoven. We have to speak of it on this level. We got to rise to this level.
So that individual Moors correcting their status or correcting others it's a farce. It's not.
It's
real.
a farce in the context of the legal and political framework of nationality.
You know what?
You understand the context? Put in the context, though. In the political and legal framework of nationality, it is a farce.
All right, man. Can I have one thing for that? For those selling that package out there?
Mm-hmm.
Take one of these with you.
Bombo clot!
Yeah. Yo. Get out of here with that.
And keep in mind, also, I'm going to say this too, that we cannot, there's the nationality card, on whatever process we go through, nationalization process. It is not a true nationalization process. Hear me out. I'm gonna explain. You know me. All right. Nationality in the political and legal framework is one's legal bond to a state. One cannot have a legal bond to a state whose sovereignty has been lost, or whose sovereignty has yet to be restored. So the nationality process is not a true nationality process, and in the framework, in the legal and political framework of nationality, because we cannot have our legal bond restored with our nation when our mother has yet to be restored. We have to recover our lost Moorish sovereignty. You cannot restore a legal bond to a state whose sovereignty is still lost. Once again, I can speak to anyone. I can speak to international jurists. I can say this to international jurists, and I would be dancing with them.
So that would mean religious organizations such as the Moorish Science Temple of America can't nationalize its members.
All right. Meaning that what you mean is that the legal bond can't be restored until the Moorish statehood is revived. So therefore, it only serves in the framework, in the international legal process of reversion of sovereignty, because it's important. It would only represent dealing with a national registry, but it cannot mean in the framework and political framework of nationality that our legal bond to our Moorish state has been restored. Doesn't mean that, because you have to restore the state first.
That makes sense.
Hit him with the bomba cloud, bro.
I got you right there.
Michael Ron, I gotta come like this because we gotta prepare. We gotta elevate. We have to elevate the people because we want to get the attentions of international jurists. We want to get the attentions of ambassadors, presidents, prime ministers. We want to get their attention. Right. You're not. I trust me, my brothers and sisters. Trust me. You will not get the attentions of international jurists, prime ministers, ambassadors, consul generals, chargé d'affaires. You will not get their attentions with these misconceptions. You're not.
We need this knowledge in numbers.
Yes. You must speak the language that they know. You got to speak the language and principles that they know, that they identify with.
Yep. Deep.
We got time for one more?
Yeah, 7:55, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's.
The next exception at large. Individual Moors can create a government first and then bring other Moors into their government second.
That's being a violation of political legitimacy. Doesn't respect the principle of political legitimacy, the consent and will and free and the will of the people. So that principle doesn't embody doesn't embody that. It's based on you gotta look at the principles. So is there political legitimacy? The will of the people. Was the will of the people involved? Was the consent of the people involved? Was there political legitimacy? See, they're just doing because they don't know the principles. You do by principles, not by emotions, not by feelings. All right, so 7:56, and then we'll do a part two, Israel. We got enough for part two. You know, if y'all want to do it, give us 2 hours, you know, because we can, you know, like I said, I had to, you know, keep things short because of the time.
Right.
But
you got it. You got it. 2 hours. The audience wants 2 hours. We've been saying we're gonna do 2 hours. 2 hours it is. 2 hours it is. All right.
Yeah, because we can do part two and we could probably review some of the ones we've done today and go more in depth. Because like I said, it's only much we can say based on the time, you know.
Actually pull up the evidence and show it as well.
Yeah, we could do that, right? Because we can't do but so much, you know, with the time limited time we have.
All right. Yeah. So let's come back the following week and do 2 hours and, you know, have everything ready to go.
Yeah, yes, definitely. They're going to be a lot of resistance because, you know, you cleared up a lot of misconceptions, and a lot of people out there have been duped by other individuals claiming to be Moorish and saying that we could do such and such for you, and they not, you know, properly educated about what the movement stands for. It's just fed a lot of
they're not. They're not. Yes. Now, can Ron, can the thumbnail that the beginning that with the Moorish flag at the title, can that be the thumbnail for this one too? Because you have for the thumbnail our pictures that way, because we can get more people looking at it if you could change the thumbnail.
Okay, we could text around about that and
yeah, all right,
I'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll just say all right, no problem.
All right. On that note, thank you guys for coming out this evening. I really appreciate it. Learned a lot.
Definitely.
Hope you guys in the chat learned a lot. We're going to build with the God in about 2 minutes, and we are out of here. Peace.
Peace.